I went out with the co-captains of Cleveland and the Celtics. They said, Kevin Garnett, this is Greg Donlin. He's the honorary head referee. Well, how am I going to say no to 4 tickets? Well, back in the 80s, I had season tickets when it was Bird, Parrish, McHale, and with 3 other guys who are all parents now and have put their kids through college. None of us have the season tickets anymore. But I took all the guys that we used to go in with every game, and we all went in together, and it was like deja vu, because we hadn't gone to a game together in like, well, when did Larry Bird and Parrish and McHale, that long ago, you know? So it was a thrill. I consider myself to be any man, and I did the right thing, and I think, you know, again, it's stuff that our police department does all the time, and our EMTs and whatnot. So it isn't something I do all the time, and so it was unusual for me.
She has inspired. When I, asked them very specifically who is going to replace Brittany in this picture, who is going to be that face, I believe the response was very heartfelt, very wonderful. Cheryl Ann and I are overwhelmed with the outpouring of love and prayers and support that we have received. One of the greatest feelings for me as a father to see that my daughter made a difference in this world.
We want to build an orphanage in Haiti, and after that's done, we're going to continue building in Haiti, but we're hoping that even though we can do something here in the United States that ties both in. We don't want to just do something in Haiti because there's a need everywhere. So we can't sit back. We won't let her die in vain, and those others that died in Haiti, and the hundreds of thousands of Haitian people that are buried over there, that we will do something to give back. We have to. It is, my husband and I feel it's our obligation, and Brittany deserves that.
Cheryl Ann and I both feel the Red Cross is our favorite charity. You're always the first to respond. You're always, during this crisis, so many times it was call the Red Cross, call the Red Cross. We didn't hear from our government for 5 days, yet we spoke to the Red Cross prior to the government. So that's first and foremost.
Brittany would be honored to be her name even mentioned in the same sentence as these 2 gentlemen that are receiving the American Red Cross International Award. We're so proud, she would be proud, and so thank you to the American Red Cross for even considering naming this award after her.
Britt always was the voice for those who didn't have one.
In 1999, a friend of mine said that I should meet these two people. They were a husband and wife, and they were refugees after they had escaped the death squads in 1982. And they told me that they had a dream of going back to Guatemala. And so I went back with them and went to their village and saw the village and spoke with several of the midwives there, and their dream was to build a clinic. And so I sort of fell in love with the people, and I fell in love with the area, and decided to help them, and came back, and with some other folks in my company, we raised the money to build it's actually a medical clinic, but we call it ACAM, which is the Spanish name for the midwives. When I saw the desperation in their faces regarding, is this gringo for real? Is he just coming here and he's going to make a commitment and then go away and never come back again, which happens a lot with NGOs that go to the third world. So that was my moment when I said to them that I won't let you down, that I'll be back. Many of them walk 10 and 15 miles, and they don't have shoes or supportive sneakers. They have these leather sandals that they make. And their feet look like just leather, and they just walked 15 miles just to come to a meeting because they heard an American was coming that might be able to help them. The clinic is 24/7, so unfortunately many of the Mayan women, when they're pregnant, they don't really do a lot of prenatal care, which we're trying to change. So they oftentimes will come in the latter stages of their pregnancy. And basically people can come in any day or night, not only for births, but also we do a lot of pediatric work with kids. We have a midwife program that has trained 30 midwives. Once they graduate, they'll go out to their own homes, and what we want to do is set up a little satellite clinic for them to work in. For all intents and purposes, Guatemala is a failed state. The genocide in the early 80s decimated the Mayan population. They have never really recovered from that, both psychologically and physically. What happens in Guatemala now is that if you have money, you can get care. People live on pretty much $3 a day in the villages. And there are many people that die very early because they have no access or no money to get their medicines. So the clinic has lots of medicines for free, and though things are for free, everyone that comes there, it's a Mayan tradition, they have to pay something. They will not come in and not give something, and they may have only 10 quetzales to their name, and they will give 2 or 3 just to be treated and give them medicines. There are many nets here in America that people have. They have welfare or Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. There are no nets in Guatemala, in many third world countries. If people are not coming from the outside to help, to feed them, to give them medicines, they're just not going to get it. So this is really life and death. What I'm doing is simply giving back because I've been fortunate enough to be able to do that. And so I get just as much out of this as I give.
Face-to-Face is really the humanitarian arm of our American Academy of Facial Plastic Surgery. And there are 2 set parts to that. There's a domestic part to that. I was able to provide help for people who suffered nasal injuries, for instance, as a result of domestic violence, and restore their scars. And one of the things that I learned is that, I cannot make a scar go away, I can improve it. But by improving a scar, that allows often a victim like that to get over that. Otherwise, if you look at a scar, that is a constant reminder of what the past holds. By improving it, that is able to give that patient the opportunity to move beyond and leave the past behind. Within the face-to-face realm, I've been focusing primarily my services in Vietnam over the last year. Our goal, in addition to obviously helping patients who are in need of facial reconstruction, is that we really want to provide our Vietnamese surgeon colleagues with the tools and with the expertise to be able to do it themselves. I realized how nobody's there is really thinking about aesthetic surgery. And even reconstructive surgery is not available in many parts of the world. And so Vietnam, who actually has a reasonable medical system, most of the time people who suffer an accident or needed facial surgery to remove, let's say, a cancer, very commonly that's where the medical treatment stopped. Yes, removing the disease, removing the cancer is of course important, but in order to give a person their own identity back, you got to be able to put it back together. It really all started when I escaped from East Germany, and I found myself as a refugee going through multiple camps provided by the Red Cross. Only later, only when I was able to digest what I went through these months of escaping East Germany, that I said that there will be a time when I'm going to be able to give back, and there will be a time when I'm going to be able to help others in similar desperate situations. I don't really consider myself a hero. To me, it's a pleasure to do what I do. It's extremely gratifying. I want to encourage people to think about doing something like that, and only then one can really understand fully what it means for others, but also for one personally.